Conscious Connect Radio. How you doing? This is Conscious Connect Radio. This is Akbar Ralston, the Truth Doctor. And my host tonight is Queen Isis Auset and Sister Queen Erin. And we're going to continue on the spiritual miseducation of the Negro. Okay. Queen Isis, we're going to take you to start out this conversation tonight. I want to hear your views on what you think religion has done, Western religions and any other type of religion, Eastern religions, all the foreign type religions that Africans are practicing today. What has it done for us as a people to unite us or to work for us the way the religion was used by others to make it work for them, to even make them dominant over others? That's the question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ask you that one more time.
The question was, why hasn't religions that we practice, Western religions that black people practice, and Eastern religions and all these different religions that Africans are practicing, other than the African indigenous religion, and why hasn't it never been being able to been used by us to prosper like other people have used it to prosper, like, Christianity and, Christian, you got to go to York, to the Vatican, or to your Christian place in Jerusalem or somewhere, or in Islam, you got to go to the Islam. If you're a black Jew, you want to go to Israel. You ain't got too many people talking about going to Africa for any religious shrines or nothing like that. What's considered Africa today anyway? So that's what I want to ask you that question. Why hasn't black been able to use religion, and why hasn't these religions worked for us the way it worked for those who we got them from?
Oh, well, from what I've studied, my opinion, what I've read, I think it's pretty clear that religion was established in the first place to exercise some type of control over us. It was established as like not only for us to worship their God, but to also exercise some type of social and political control over us. So anytime people introduce something to you that's foreign to you and force that upon you, you, of course, as a people, lose some sense of self-worth, or you develop an inferior mindset because this was forced upon you. This was introduced to you. This was taught to you by way of colonialization. And we don't even have to go, as far back as the slave trade. They've been doing this to all indigenous people of the world, including Africa. So I think that's the main root cause is we are giving power to people outside of who do not have our best interest at heart. their goal is to rule over us and to keep them in power. They have systematically and institutionally established these religions and institutions of higher learning so that we can learn what they want us to learn. So, and we just pass that down from generation to generation. And this is what we have now. We're continuing this cycle, and it needs to stop. I don't even know, I think we're doing a good thing having a radio show, and I'm meeting a lot of people who are asking questions, so it's definitely a time to begin to address this, definitely, I think. Because it is not, we're at a time now where we're still in the same situation, basically, as far as incarceration, and we are still in poverty. We're still suffering all over. So the religious gods, they haven't done anything for us, as far as I'm concerned, to empower us. I think they have done nothing but reduce our spirituality and our connection with our ancestors. And I think that stripped us of a lot of power. So, that's my opinion on that.
I think that they say that I hope my numbers are right. That the black preachers take something like every weekend, like about 30 million or 90 million, maybe more than that, maybe 100 million every Sunday, nationwide, and they don't use it to do anything, to build any factory, to churches. Why don't the churches come together and to build something that black people can use to, be self-sufficient? Because back in the day, the churches were the place where Honorable Marcus Garvey worked through, especially in the South. In the North, too, and the churches and the preachers and stuff, he worked with them, and they were teaching this type of attitude because it was a history of it in the South, starting out with people like Booker T. Washington, and then Henry McNeil Turner, people like that was in the self-help. There was a lot of self-help and self-development programs, even programs that was ran by whites back in them days to try to, get some type of skills to Negroes so they can work. But now I don't want to get off of the religion. Yeah, I'm going to address Queen Erin. How you doing? Introduce yourself. Yeah. Now, your religion, I think you are, do you want to say your religion?
Yes, my father's side was, they believe in Catholic, Catholic schools, and my grandfather was a Mason. My mother's side, they always believed in, they came from out of a Holy Ghost filled church, and then they became Hebrew Pentecostal.
Okay.
So it's considered Judaism, but we consider ourselves Black Jews, which are the real Black Jews. The ones that's over there now, is just imitation. But as I grew up, I grew up with a real strict background. But even now, I'm still learning and reading and understanding more to it than just that. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these churches, the reason why they are not putting out any information anymore is because, a lot of them sold out. It's not just, Catholic Church or, Baptist. A lot of people, it says 45% of blacks are Baptists. These churches, they want a collection plate to raise money to pad the preacher's pocket. They get the tithes and the offering for the preacher's anniversary and preacher's birthdays and things of that nature. So the preacher can ride around in a Mercedes-Benz while his members are living in the damn projects. Mm-hmm. It's really, it's a mental it's a mental thing going on with these churches that's disrupting our black neighborhoods because that's all you have is churches and liquor stores, but you don't have growth and development. Now, you do have some that try to give back to the community, like our church, we have a food bank and some of that nature, but it needs to be more than that. Like you said, Marcus Garvey took over the churches in the South to explain to the people that it's not just a white God that you have to.
He didn't take over the church. He worked.
No, he didn't take it, but he worked alongside a lot of people with the churches, basically to let them know that it's not just some white God that they supposed to be worshiping. He took it upon himself to teach, as well as put it in the minds of the people that we are, we are a mighty race. Because in the South, as I was reading, the whites, what they did was they said they made us come as slaves. They made us come to their churches because they felt as though if we had our own church, we would plot against the slave owners. So if we had our own church and our own Sunday to plot against them, they didn't know what we were doing. So that was their control that they had over the slaves in the Deep South. So as we got emancipated, we still kept that slavery mentality, we have to go to the white church. And some of them, as we did, branch off, but it's still with that mentality. So we have to break out of that. And not only just break out of that, we have to, uplift our community. I mean, it's not saying that there's nothing wrong with religion. It's just saying that the religion has to be, it's misdoctrine in a lot of ways. I mean, it's now political and there's a science to it, and it needs to be stopped.
Well, I was watching the movie Shaka Zulu last night, and one of the scenes in the last scene, the guy said to the white guy said to the other white guy that we even use Jesus Christ for a political tool, to trick Shaka and all that stuff.
And we need to stop holding that Jesus Christ as a crutch.
And see, the problem that I have, and I do not think that religion is okay when the religion is not based on your own ideals. Marcus Garvey said that when the Europeans see God, they see him through white eyes. He said when the Asians see God, he see them through Asian eyes. He said when the black African God, he should see him through African eyes. He said look towards the gods of Christianity of Ethiopia, but that was the biggest Christian country in Africa at the time. And Ethiopia was, going all the way back, because some people say that they got that stuff got created by the Coptics, created it and gave it to the Europeans. Because see, the Europeans, no religion has ever came out of Europe that anybody, worldwide practices. The religion actually was modified by the Europeans and used as a tool back on us, and see when this white religion, Arab religion or any religion is given to us or proselytized to us, we become their slaves, but they're really the gods, because why is these people have a relationship directly with God, but no African people don't have no relationship straight with God, no story. So, see, African religions, they never proselytized that came out and told everybody, that you have to be this or you have to be that to believe in this, and then they don't go around like European proselytizing their religions and telling people they're going to burn and in hell and all this. If they don't accept the Lord Jesus Christ, they're not going to go to heaven, and and make people afraid and scared if they don't accept their religion. So this, I mean, the way they push this religion, it has to be a tool, because everywhere they go, they impress this religion upon people, and this is the problem that I have with these religions, and these religions seem to more or so control the minds and the thoughts of our people instead of putting us together in unity. because we have never united. All these religions have never really united. They all just separate bank accounts for each of these preachers. None of them never talk about economics or anything. All they do, and then now most of them are getting caught doing all kinds of crazy stuff, homosexual acts, and sleeping with people's wives, and sleeping with wives and husbands, and, you know, all kinds of madness going on in the black church. You know what I'm saying? And you go through there, because I believe in going into these churches as an activist, because I used to didn't believe, I don't want to go in these places and stuff, but our people is in these places. So if you can get a foothold in one, you know, because you got to really go to the preacher. You can't go to the members. You got to go straight to the preacher. If you go in there, you got to get relationships straight with the preacher, even before you go in there, to let them know what you do, what you drop a couple books on the preacher, see if they take the bait and read. Because if I've done it, one of the preachers I work with now, reading from the Nile Valley Civilization and everything, she told her church that the name of God was Amen Ra. So when you say Amen at the end of your prayer, you say God. I said, whoa. She really, you know, because we can work. See, our people is in there. We got to stop being scared, saying that our people ain't never going to change. Because if you can change, somebody else is waiting to be sparked. You know, you don't never know who you are, who or what capabilities within you that's going to be seen by somebody else to give them that spark to change from these religions, because religions are just like children having, play friends like Peter Pan, or, I got a play friend named Johnny or something like that. You ain't never seen them before. Nothing. What's the difference? The children got little play friends.
And it is, because a lot of these brothers out here on the Philly streets, they Muslim, Assalamu alaikum, Salaikum, in one hand, and the next hand you selling dope and you selling drugs, to the next hand you poisoning your community. But you and Jumu'ah on Friday, and you got your kufi on, and you beating up on your women, cheating on your women, sleeping out here with any and everybody. So what type of part of Islamic religion is that? Because when I'm seeing the real Muslims over there, they don't even want to pray with you niggas. You want to know why? Because y'all niggas is lost doing all of that. And y'all fraud doing all of that. It's just camaraderie doing all of that. They serious.
And then black people know these preachers are stealing. They know the preachers ain't gonna just keep on going for this story that this thing, this invisible God, this something they never seen or never knew or never helped them to do anything. Everything that black people done has been on their own. And the reason why I believe we're still alive is because they've been the perfect servant of the white man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the white man can find a better servant on earth than black people. Sister Auset, go ahead. Go ahead, Sister Auset.
No, I'm agreeing with you in that, we are his greatest, we are very loyal to our master. We worship his God. We take his literature and take it all as truth, whatever he gives us. We practice a very inferior mentality. And these preachers, getting to the preachers, a lot of them actually know the truth. They know what they're teaching is a lie. I come from the church. I know all about it. They sit behind closed doors and they'll read Nile Valley Civilization. They'll read. They know about Dr. Ben. They know Dr. Clark. They know about all those books. They know
a whole lot of them.
They know. You might even get them to say, well, if Jesus did exist, he had to be black. They would say that. He had to be the black man. They'll say that behind closed doors. But one preacher told my father, I can't tell these people that. I can't tell them the truth. I'll lose half my members. And then who's going to pay for the church, for the light bills? And who's going to pay my salary? And who's going to pay my mortgage? A couple of them told my father this. So these people are ruthless. They have access to information based on the fact that a lot of them go to these theology schools. So they have access to more information than their members, or at least they're exposed to what is and what isn't in these theology schools. Again, another institution. A lot of them are, of course, Masons, so they know. But when they get behind the pulpit, it's time to get that money. That's the bottom line. They love that power. They love to be in that position. They have made them. They know who God is. They made themselves gods. So and the people
don't even talk about
are gullible. And the people,
don't even talk about God. Let me say this. The people don't even talk about God. They always talk about what the pastor said. My pastor said this. My pastor said that. I said, well, and if they ain't saying the pastor said, they said Jesus this and Jesus said that. And I'm like, well, what happened to God? I mean, y'all don't even say that. So a lot of these churches don't even say God no more. It's just the Church of Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? They don't even say. But all that stuff there, a lot of people don't understand. It's a word that's very old that they used to use that's not even mostly used anymore. You could look it up. It's called the Godhead. The Godhead. And this is the ancient word for when they tried to put when they put themselves on the Godhead, because they weren't on the Godhead before. Because if you notice, and everybody knows about the black mother and child and the black Madonna, they call it, and all that, and all throughout Europe and European countries where they bowing down and they have black images and of all kinds of stuff, because, this stuff was transmitted worldwide at one time, the stuff that we had.
Oh, yeah.
And most of it wasn't prophesied like they do religion. It was just people wanted it. You know what I'm saying? They wanted it for the philosophy and the understanding, because, see, we didn't practice religion. We were connected with nature. Now we're disconnected with nature because we were in harmony and in tune with nature like the animals are that haven't been taken out of nature and domesticated. We're just like these animals that's been taken out of their natural habitat and been domesticated by another people. And we're not into our real spiritual thing. Well, our spiritual thing is nothing like no stories with these gods that will beat you and punish you and burn you and put you in fires and all this type of stuff. We didn't believe these type of things. We were in tune with the netters, the Netteru, the Mother Nature, what is now today Mother Nature. We were in tune with nature. We seen everything through the creation, but the creation is the work of the Creator. And if you could look within the creation and know what to do, that's why men use animals and symbols and stuff like that, because they observed nature, they observed astrological bodies, stars and planets and all that. They had observed everything, and they made stories, and the stories told the stories like a science wrapped all up in it.
Right.
So we didn't do it like that. And when we revered the sun, we revered the moon, we revered the air and space and the stars, and the moons. I mean, we just revered everything in creation, and we seen ourselves as a part of creation. Now, with these religions, you're not really a part of God unless you accept some book or words or accept this deity as your Lord and Savior, which was looking like another people given to you. Because we didn't do it like that. We didn't hand no statue. Here's Haru. If you don't take him, you're not going to, make it, and you're going to burn in hell if you don't accept Haru. And, carry. We didn't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Each man was judged on his merits. His heart was weighed. And sometimes even my aunt put her finger on the scale just to make sure they passed through. And that was that mercy, that motherly mercy. You know what I'm saying? We were on more, because we follow nature, so we were on a a matriarchal system because it makes sense. Man could not have came first. Man would have to had come out of a woman to be born. Now, the first two beings was made. Some people say they were made simultaneously, but after that, everything came outside of a woman. That's all we know where anything come from. So we had a matriarchal system. This is where you come from. So the woman was, seen as something sacred, as something special and precious, and all that is not in these religions.
Not religions now, because
let me finish what I'm saying. These religions now persecute women and say women are responsible for the downfall of man, and women have to be covered up in Islam, and the Jewish people, when they have sex, they got to throw a sheet over their woman and just cut a hole where the woman's part is. They don't even look upon her. And they hide them out, and it's just persecuting women. I mean, that European patriarchal stuff that just persecutes women and uses women for all the excuses of the downfall and failures of man. All right, Erin, go ahead.
Yeah, and the system is divided and twisted where these brothers is not respecting these women, and it's a shame because you came from a woman, you was made from a woman. So, we are the mother and the queen of the earth. Why not cherish and treat a woman right? But these men are so lost, they want to blame us for their insensitivity and down and misfortune when y'all was put here to be the provider and the protector of the woman. So the religion is the fault in that blame.
Well, I have to look at this, The slave master has pitted us against each other, male and female, and it's still perpetuated to this day. And we got to come to grips that we need each other, and we the only. I mean, you are only what we have, and we are only what you have. An African sister told me that the reason why they respect their men because their men is their shield, their protector. So black men here got to learn how to start protecting their black women again, because that's the thing. You're not even judged to be a man unless you can protect your women and children and old folks. You're supposed to be able to protect them, propel people out of your community. They're not even supposed to be able to come in here or do anything to us. But, over and over again, black people don't do anything but kill and hurt each other because it's still frightened. Black people are still petrified to a certain extent because, it's hard to find them doing anything to anybody other than themselves. That's black people worldwide, even in Africa. I posted a picture on Facebook about 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago of a Chinese chasing an African with a stick in Africa while the other Africans are looking, and they would beat them down. And I said, if that was in China, that African would have been dead if he'd have pulled the stick and chased the Chinese down the street of Hong Kong or somewhere like that. So this religion stuff is taboo, and it's been seen even earlier. I mean, if Marcus Garvey and people like that seen that these religions were enslaving our people mentally, today, we should be way past that. So, a lot of people are starting to see and learn. What you think? What do you think the people are starting to see? You think a lot of people, because I've seen this guy, all the ladies hate him, called Tony Sotomayor, and I've seen him interviewing the guy who put the Hidden Colors tape out, right? And on it, I heard him using the word Negro peons. And I know when I first said that on the internet, Negro peons. And then some people started spelling it with a K. Yeah, and that's like almost over 2 years ago when I first said it. Then it took off, the word Negro peons. And
who started that? I was wondering who started that.
Yeah, but and I heard him use it, so he's watching. I'm gonna let this caller in here. Hold on. Let me see here. Hello, caller. 8036.
Yeah, that's
how
me.
You doing?
How you
Who's
doing?
this?
I say sisters and brothers. How y'all doing? This is Becky Lusby. How y'all doing?
All right.
Okay, how you doing?
I say to you,
well, we were talking
I've been
about,
listening in. Yeah, I was listening in.
Yeah, we talk about the spiritual miseducation of the Negro and what religion has done to us, and why haven't we been able to use religion to go further like everybody else does? Like, the white man, the Asian man uses his religion. Even other people that didn't even have a religion uses it and they get by. Because I guess they work hard or whatever. What is the Negro's problem? And why in our communities we don't own anything or control anything? All we doing is sitting by and watching. It's just like watching our people being economically attacked with no help. Go ahead, sister. What you think about that?
No, that's right. That's true. The root of a lot of our conditioning here is based in religion and how it has been converted to the people, how people have assimilated to the propaganda there. A lot of people have, and it's been a process. It wasn't something that they just did immediately or it just happened. It took planning. Their invasions took a lot of planning, and they did that. What do you do when you're in ruins, and then you're under the attack? I believe we're under attack by an entity that wishes to be within us but cannot. That's the reason we spat it out. I feel that way. But religion has done today, it makes you unintelligent. I can say that. I'm not talking about the context, because we can't refute the historical reference of spirituality and what religion incorporated in its midst. We can't refute the historical reference. It's the context in which people understand it, that has been distorted. And because of that, people's perceptions, I was listening to y'all earlier, and it made me think about something that Dr. Clark had said. He said you become the spiritual prisoner of that people when you have that. So we came through a process. We were removed. Rip us out of the heart of our motherland, bring us other places, and reduce us, not unto servitude, but chattel slavery. Make us your property. We're no more than subjects. And, you give us no rights, on no land. We have nothing, Human, we have nothing. You've taken everything. You've robbed us of our natural resources, our land, our labor, our dignity. Then you bring us to the land and you tell us we're nothing, and that we have no history. You have a people today that believe that slavery started our lifespan started, and so I will go back to say, if you think that your history started with slavery, then you got to look further back. You got to look back much further. If you think we've made progress today, then you got to look back at really what has really taken place, in this diaspora. It really is of African diaspora. They're robbing our land of every natural resource there. They're pumping it everywhere. As a matter of fact, the United States is getting ready to make Africa its land base for drilling oil. All segments of that. They're completely about to take over that. Major oil companies, okay? So they've laid the groundwork. We just have to understand that what we are dealing with it's definitely an environmental. We can talk about the psychological constructs. We can talk about the social constructs. We can talk about all of those things that have really, but right now we're in an environmental disaster. They're killing us through what we consume. They're taking all of our riches. They're keeping everything from us. We don't have to talk about where our history is. The history today is our history. The things that are happening for everybody is based in what they've taken from us, or trying to. They're manipulating the DNA of our babies, our embryos, taking the melanin cells off. Why are they doing these things? we got to ask ourselves the question. But I won't go all further. I just wanted to kind of wrap up where we are. You know, why we can't see the trees in the forest.
I can answer that with one word, fear. I can answer that question with one word, fear.
Oh. Yeah.
Fear. Like this, when the guy Marshall Lynch, when he had say for the Seahawks running back, he was on ESPN doing an interview, and he'd be running around on TV calling himself a thug, but in front of the camera he was shaking, and one of his teammates had to come save him on the interview. So we talk a lot of stuff behind scenes, and when everybody around, but when you get in front of all them white people, we get scared. Some of us.
Yeah, some of us. Yeah.
Well, I think that it's a lot to do with, the fear that's inside you. I mean, the black people just really left out of really worshiping the white people in the image of God. In every black house you could see a white Jesus, or and if not, they had some Arab religion, and when they look at the Arabs, they damn near white. A lot of them is straight white, and black people they just mesmerized with these religions. And, like, even the black Muslim brothers, these Arabs will come here and they'll open up shop. They won't even hire them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean,
they don't want to be around them.
Yeah,
because I used to work around them. They don't want to pray with them. They don't want to eat with them. They don't associate themselves with them dumbass niggas on Germantown Avenue claiming that they Muslim and sell drugs. As soon as they leave out the damn masjid, they turn around fucking some girl and selling some damn drugs. They don't play with them. They don't.
Yeah,
I know.
One of the Muslims from Germantown Avenue was one of the ones that one of the male ones put on female clothes, female Muslim girl clothes, a veil and all that, and robbed the bank. I think they shot a police, and they killed them. They wouldn't. Muslims wouldn't even have the funeral at the mosque for them, and that was strange to me. In Islam, the Muslims said that the worst Muslim is better than any non-believer. But this guy here, they wouldn't even let his funeral be at their mosque. He belonged to the mosque. So, a lot of these religions, these people are just, I think that some people would say that what religion has done for us or our people is that it was something that we could hold on to get us through all this stuff. But I think that's some crazy stuff to say. I've heard people say it. If we didn't have this, what would we do? Go ahead, Auset.
Because I want to speak. I kind of want to speak on that because you hear a lot of our people, especially the Muslims, what's the guy's name? Wesley Muhammad. A lot of people are wanting to quote him now and say that Islam is an African religion. And it came from Africans. And I'm like, okay, what parts of it came from? Like, he's skillful in how he even lectures about it. Because I can tell he knows the truth as well. I actually called him out a liar on Facebook because he knows he was teaching about the Kaaba stone, and he was teaching about the goddess. He was actually quoting from this same not Facebook. It was a website, and the website was talking about the goddess that was worshipped at Mecca, and he actually took out the word Allah in the lecture and put Allah in that place, but the whole rest of the context of that web page was included in his lecture. And I told a friend of mine, I said, he's a liar. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows what Ma'at is. He knows who Ma'at is. He knows the black woman was worshipped just as well as the black man, that she was just as sacred. But he left that part out of the lecture. And
when you see these guys, when you see these guys wearing the badge of minister and all that, that's their job. And they ain't going to miss their job, but that's how they make their money and their living and all that stuff. So that's their job. You know, you can't trust this man. This is this man, how he makes his livelihood and everything. You think you're going to talk about or get something? That's like a man who sells cars. He ain't gonna get out there and talk against the product. He's gonna say, this car ain't no good and I don't like it myself, but you can buy it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no preacher or no woman, because that's their job. That's what I mean. You know, they don't know anything else but that. You know what I'm saying? To be a preacher or what's the name? They come up in it. They were brought up in it as a kid, and you know they were dancing and prancing around the church and playing the tambourine and everything. You know, our people, you know, first started this religion, and they said that they were saying, I want Jesus to carry me home. They wasn't talking about no white Jesus. They was talking about the good ship Jesus coming back to get them and take them back home. And, you know, they started talking about songs like Come Down Sweet Chariots and Take Me Home. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to go back to Africa. So that was a big thing back in the day. Our people going back to the motherland. You don't hear too much of that, too much of that no more today. Black people talk about I want to go back to Africa. Yeah.
A lot of people
you don't hear too much of that today. Back in the day, they used to believe, black people used to believe that it was no way that a black man was ever going to be able, a black person, be able to be treated right and equal here in America. You know, that's what they say, you know. I mean, you know, you have some of the ones that got a lot of money that may be treated better or feel better, but sometimes they still running the racism and racist stuff. But, you know, do you have to have money to be treated equal or treated good in this country? Or why you just can't be treated like a human being or treated equally or whatever? You know, and there's nobody going to treat you equal that's in top of you. I mean, they can put on the illusion that, you could be on the illusion they making you think you're getting treated equal when you still know you ain't getting treated equal. You see your neighborhoods is under police state. You go to the white neighborhoods, you don't even see these police. You know what I'm saying? Only time you see police, if they see your ass going into the white neighborhood, they following you. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you don't go up there and see police like you see all down here in our community and stuff like this. You know, and they got black people boxed in these cities. White people surround you all in the suburbs. You with your back against the water. You know what I'm saying? And if they was ready to swoop in, they'd be finished. And almost every city is constructed like that. So they did that after the riots in the 60s and stuff. After the riots, they had to build all these highways and stuff, and it really fenced you in. So, you know, and you just imagine, we all surrounded by all these suburban whites. We all right down in the valley, in the city. They could march in anytime they wanted. You know, but the thing is black people be on their knees praying instead of getting off your knees and doing something. You know, and even the doggone Bible, because I don't even want to say that, but the Bible tell you itself that God is not going to do anything for you until you get ready to do something for yourself. If you take one step, he'll take 2 steps. If you take 3 steps, he'll take 4. And if you run fast, walk. If you walk, he'll run, and all this type of stuff. But they still don't even see it. The book even tell them they gods in it. But after that slave story of that white Jesus, that's what messed them up. That white image is what messed them up.
Also tells them only they master too. So there's a conflict of you know, it's part of the book that they don't use. You know, that's my thing.
Half these niggas can't even read, so how they gonna read for themselves? Niggas can't even read nothing.
Some of them can't read. The ignorance is really, that's their problem. Because when the people are totally ignorant, they don't know how to use words to articulate and talk and, you know, and just communicate. They turn to violence. You know what I'm saying? That's a known fact. You know, because, I mean, I was reading Booker T. Washington book up from slavery, And back in the day, they said a typical Negro party, it was always a slashing. You know what I'm saying? It was always fighting and stuff, even all the way back then out of slavery. You know, so basically the same stuff, ignorance is really dangerous. And that's one of the biggest problems in the hood. When you see all these people in the hood and all of them acting, only thing they know is a song or how to pop their booty and all that type of stuff. And, dudes running around jumping from one girl to the next girl, and he can't even read his name, But the thing is the ignorance is what fuels all this other stuff. And that's a whole nother thing we need to have a show on, how people can't read or write.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I remember
really
when I was teaching this metaphysics to this church, and the people that couldn't read, I had to read the book for some of them couldn't even read and stuff. So I'm like, the stories and the pictures. Pictures is something. When you see all these pictures of a white man hanging on the cross and talking about that's your Lord and Savior, you don't need that to read. All you do that.